Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. Today we're going to write our summary for superhero and fossil fuels. When we return to our do what chart, we see that part of what we need to do is provide a summary of the video, and that's what we'll be taking care of today. Please remember to open up your do what chart that has the prompt and your do what chart and add your summary here as well as uploading it to Canvas. First, I'd like to review how you summarize an argument. I like to think of an argument as a building. The most important part of the building is the roof. The roof keeps out the rain, it keeps out the sun, and it's really the primary purpose of a building. That's like our thesis or overall argument. This could be explicitly stated in an argument or might need to be considered from looking at the supporting claims. The supporting claims are like the walls that hold up the thesis and argument, and they should fit tightly underneath. Those supporting claims help make the thesis and argument stronger. It's important to know that the thesis or argument and the supporting claims are arguable. They're not facts or evidence. They are simply assertions that are being argued. So I might want to argue that dogs are better than cats. That would be my thesis or argument. Some supporting claims I might make, like the walls holding up the roof, are dogs are more loyal than cats, or dogs are friendlier than cats. Those are both supporting claims to support the thesis that dogs are better than cats. Generally, when we look at an argument, we're going to find a hook, a thesis overall argument, claim or claims, the reason that the claims are true, evidence to support the reasons and claims, and a conclusion. So these are things we should be on the lookout. We should have them in our own writing, and other authors should provide them for us. This is a complete transcript from Superheroes and Fossil Fuels. Please remember to go back and watch it again in this module and look to see how the argument is made. Breaking down the transcript into the parts that I just described, we can see that the first paragraph in purple is basically the hook. It's meant to invite readers to imagine how much they love superhero movies, going to the movies, and make the connection between superhero movies and fossil fuels. What you see in green are either the thesis argument or the supporting claims. You can see that there's several sections. The first is, but what about real-life superheroes that run the world every day, the ones that keep the lights on and help get us to school and work, and ironically even make it possible for us all to enjoy the newest action flick with our friends and family? I'm talking about fossil fuels. A little further down in green, you see all of these things are here because of oil, natural gas, and coal. A bit further down, it says, this is a reality that is ignored by people who say fossil fuels are going to destroy us all because of their belief in catastrophic man-made climate change. And finally, in green, so natural gas has to be there to make sure that the movie doesn't stop playing. At the bottom, you see the conclusion, and in red, you see the reasons to support those claims and ideas. When I go to write my summary of superheroes and fossil fuels, I'll want to paraphrase the green parts and get a clear idea of what he is arguing. So what I did was take the top green and turn it into the thesis or overall argument, which is fossil fuels are overlooked superheroes. I know that this is likely the thesis or argument because it's mirrored in the title and it's talked about throughout the entire text. I also paraphrased the three claims to support the fact that they're superheroes. Natural gas, oil, and coal created our modern world. Alternative energy sources do not work. Supporters of alternative fuels are ignorant and hypocritical. Going back to this section, I just want to show you how I got to the fact that the claim that people that oppose fossil fuels are hypocritical and ignorant. It says, this is a reality that is ignored by people who say fossil fuels are going to destroy us all because of their belief in catastrophic man-made climate change. They are parroting the doom and gloom. So he talks about how they use they use fossil fuels, and so they're hypocritical, and they don't seem to understand what they're saying. Now, again, this is his argument that he's making. So your summary of the Superheroes and Fossil Fuels video should look something like this. You can rephrase it if you'd like, or just use this exact text, add it to your Do What chart, and please also upload it to Canvas, where there's an assignment that says Summary of Fossil Fuels and Superheroes. After looking at his overall argument, we can start to ask how strong the argument is. And we should be asking ourselves, what evidence does he provide to support his ideas? And is it sufficient to make the argument? Looking at the argument, we can see that he does use a comparison or a metaphor, which is a weak type of evidence, but it's meant to teach. And this comparison or metaphor is his argument that fossil fuels are superheroes. He also lists or gives some examples of things we enjoy that use fossil fuels, such as big Hollywood films, temperature-controlled theaters, warm popcorn, and sipping cold drinks. He continues to do some of this in the next paragraph as well, talking about transportation, electricity, and so on. And finally, he gives one statistic. Less than 2% of global energy demand is being generated by alternative sources. And this is a statistic about the world's use of alternative energy, not a statistic to show that the energy itself isn't working. So you should be starting to ask yourself, is this enough evidence to support the idea that fossil fuels are overlooked superheroes and natural gas, oil, and coal created our modern world, and alternative energy sources do not work, and supporters of alternative fuels are ignorant and hypocritical? I do think he shows that natural gas, oil, and coal created our modern world by providing many examples of how we use it today. But I don't see a lot of evidence to show that alternative energy sources do not work or supporters of alternative fuels are ignorant and hypocritical. Finally, I'd like us to think about word choice and maybe some problematic word choice that he uses. In yellow, you'll see positive words he uses praising fossil fuels, and in blue, you'll see negative words criticizing alternatives. An unbiased argument would not rely upon such hyperbolic language and loaded words. So starting with superhero and rescuing humanity, sitting back and enjoying, unsung heroes, and the list goes on, these are all these positive words praising fossil fuels that are meant to slant or bias the audience. Additionally, in green or blue, we see negative words criticizing alternatives or people that support alternatives. Reality that is ignored, belief in catastrophic man-caused climate change, folks parroting the doom and gloom, entire world has heavily subsidized, the haters, alternative would be the kind of horror movie, and ridiculous. These are not the type of word choice or language that a ethical, strong argument would rely upon, and we should automatically see how biased this argument is. At this point, after watching the video, you should be ready to upload your classwork summary of superheroes and fossil fuels here in Module Week 5. Again, it can be exactly as I wrote it, or it can be paraphrased in your own words. Also look to see there is a reminder to look at introductions again, even though we looked at it last week, and a small quiz on introductions. A PowerPoint, the PowerPoint that I just showed in the video, is also here for your benefit. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you next week.